Hey everyone, Royalivi here and welcome back to episode 3 of my Sorare Road to Glory. And I mentioned last time I didn't really have the players to fill teams for the international break, but in Game Week 198 I did manage to get a global all-star team of players still playing in the MLS. So unfortunately we were a bit shy of hitting the second threshold, so we only hit the first threshold. So we got 0.01 Ethereum, or about £30 at the time. And I also let Sorare know their game is nice and it's big fun, but they do need to add Bristol Rovers in the future. But you know, we'll see when that happens. Probably want to get some bigger clubs on board first, but I'm sure everyone else is just as interested in that as I am. Now do know I record these videos in advance, so the price of Ethereum could adjust and change slightly. Obviously it's quite volatile when how it rises and how it goes down, so just keep that in mind when I'm adding these prices onto the screen. Now as you can see here, everyone played quite average, no one scored really too well, and I did have to sign Tanner Beeson in defence, as none of my other MLS defenders were available. I got him for 0.016 Ethereum, or about £40, and I can just sell him on whenever or decide to keep him as backup. I also won Jamie Jacobs on auction and sold him on the same day for a 0.015 profit, so another £35 in the club right there. And I managed to sell Nikolai Larsson for full price overnight for £140, which is a bit mad to me as no one ever really buys at full price anymore, and checking the market today I can see he's already back down to 110, 120, you know, so it's a win for me, but I think the guy overpaid, and I did manage to make about £80 profit on that card, so I can't complain. And I was looking at new Challenger Europe forwards for the club, and I settled on Nicholas Storm as one of them for 0.095 Ethereum, or about £240 at the time. And within 3 or 4 days buying him, I can already see his lowest price on the market now is about £390, so you know, not saying I get that for him, but there's definitely potential there to sell him on for maybe a 50% profit if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep him. You know, he's a good player, he scores goals for his team, he does well in SO5, and I think he's a nice addition to the club. I'm also looking at Rifat Zemeletdinov and Diego Rossi. He's just joined Fenerbahce in Turkey. I think they'll both be another good card to add to the club for Challenger Europe, but right now they're a bit too much for what I want to pay for them. And you know, maybe with this new club launch on the 9th of the 9th, people might panic sell their players for a bit less than normal to try and get some Ethereum, you know, to buy some of these new players from these new leagues or clubs, whatever's coming in on the 9th, so that should be interesting. I'll hold off for now, but definitely keeping an eye on those two players. And at the end of the video we'll discuss what happened on the 9th of September. Right now I'm recording this on the 8th of September, so obviously I don't know yet, but we'll see what it is after. And for Game Week 200, I thought about getting a limited La Liga card to allow me to enter the special weekly event, but in the end I went against it, as for this special weekly you only need 1 La Liga card and then you can have 4 cards of whoever you want. This means there's going to be some really strong teams in there, you know, they're going to have 1 La Liga card and then Ajax stacks or Salzburg stacks. And I have a good club, but I think it would take a lot for me to compete against those cards, and overall I just don't think the price pool is big enough or worth it for me to compete in that. So I'm going to focus on Global All-Star, Champion America and Challenger Europe. You know, hopefully if more people are playing these special weekly, it'll give me more chance of winning a reward in these competitions. So for Global All-Star, I've gone for a threshold hitting team of Szczesny, Beeson, Tuoloma, Nandez and Riet. In Challenger Europe, I've got quite a decent team: Brandhorst, Wierick, Gustafsson, Mitso and Storm. Hoping Storm does well on his debut for me in the club, and I'm also hoping Gustafsson starts for Utrecht. He hasn't started every game this season, it's been a bit hit and miss, so I'm hoping he starts and gets some good points for me. And then in Champion America, Sean Johnson, Sean Nealis, Lewis Morgan, Pulido as my captain, and Shiny Ashiki. You know, hopefully this team's good enough to maybe compete for a T3 reward, or if I get lucky, something even better. So without further ado, let's see how I got on. And I'm also going to take a look at who won the special weekly, how many points they needed and what team they had. You know, I'm sure they'll enjoy the Real Madrid-Barcelona game when it's on, and I'm sure they needed a very high score to do so. So let's have a look. And here for Game Week 200, we had a bit of a train wreck of a game week. Honestly, in Global All-Star it was just terrible. My captain only came on with 10 minutes left. Sean Nealis gave away a penalty and scored a 9. No one really did too well. Szczesny made a howler in the Napoli game, yeah, so Global All-Star was an absolute disaster. Champion America was just average performances. Shiny Ashiki got a goal assist, which is nice, but overall nothing to write home about there. And Challenger Europe was a bit of a heartbreaker. You know, Nicholas Storm did well on his debut for me, got me 85 points as captain. Another clean sheet for Brandhorst. Mitso and Gustafsson did pretty well, and then MIKE te Wierik got 36 points. And you know, I missed out on the T3 rewards by about 8 to 10 points, so I was very close, and MIKE te Wierik was the reason why I did not get a T3 card, because in the 84th minute of his game, he decided to do this. already on a booking and makes a reckless challenge like that. He was scoring about a 55 at the time. Would have been enough to take me into the T3 bracket, but no. He decided to Wierik me. So I think for me, anytime I get fucked by something like this in the future, it's going to be known as getting Wierik, because this is the first time it's happened to me. And I like Mike, he's done well for me, but he's let me down this week. And you can get some good cards in T3. This Simon Gustafsson card I won as a T3 card. I would have liked the opportunity to get a nice card, but no, I got Wierik. So yeah, that was very unfortunate. So absolute nothing this week, but such is life. Let's have a look at who won the special weekly. And the winner of the special weekly was Migo FC. He captained his one Liga player, Karim Benzema, obviously got a hat-trick, I think he got an assist too. Wrench got 100, Bongonda won a penalty and got an 84. You know, really got carried by those three players there. And they look to have been enough to have won him a ticket to the next El Classico. So congratulations, Migo FC, well played. And as mentioned, I said we'd talk about what happened on the 9th of the 9th, and by now most of you probably know it was La Liga that was released, so the full 20 clubs in La Liga. Previously Sorare had Valencia, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and some Real Betis cards, so obviously to go from 4 clubs to the full 20 is absolutely incredible. You know, Sorare did a Twitch announcement where they had Cliver and Eto'o on there, so obviously 2 big players that used to play the game. They've had Gerard Piqué tweeting about it, some Spanish news outlets are picking it up, and you can already see the immediate impact this is having, as Sebadani is shown here. You know, this user has registered today and he's already put €2,500 as a bid on Ansu Fati's first rare edition. Now this is just one user doing this, obviously there could be loads of new users coming on and buying the limiteds, the rares, or people spending even more money than this user is here. So obviously it's going to be great for the game to have a new influx of managers, bring some more money in, and just overall big up the profile of Sorare. And I also think it's really beneficial for the Champion Europe scene as well. Now anyone who watched my last video saw that I sold my Champion Europe team as it was too hard to compete. You know, there was only a handful of clubs out of the top 5 leagues. You had, I think, 4 in Spain, maybe 6 to 8 in Italy, a few Premier League and Bundesliga clubs, and about half of League One. So obviously the best players are going to filter to the top clubs. You know, your Liverpools, Real Madrids, PSGs. So a lot of the clubs didn't matter too much. I don't want to say they didn't matter, you know, it's great to have them on board, but obviously they're going to score less in SO5. Like if you've got a Udinese stack or a Strasbourg stack, you're not going to score as much as if you have a Liverpool or Real Madrid stack. But I think with the introduction of a full La Liga setup, it gives everyone who's playing more options to build their team. You know, you could get a Sevilla stack now, or even an Athletic Bilbao stack, or even just mix and match with a full La Liga squad. You know, you can definitely pick up some good players there, probably for good prices eventually once the hype dies down. So yeah, I just think overall it will allow for a more competitive scene in Champion Europe, and you know, that can't be a bad thing at all. Now whether I'm going to get involved with the La Liga players or, you know, get back into Champion Europe, I won't rule it out. I think right now I'm not going to. Obviously the hype around this new launch is going to inflate the prices, especially early doors, but it's something to keep an eye on. You know, I'm sure eventually there's going to be deals out there to be had on certain players and profit to be made, so I'm not ruling it out. But I think right now I'm going to stick to focusing on my Challenger Europe and Champion America teams, and hopefully build up a bit of a portfolio that way, and I can always then sidestep into Champion Europe if I feel like there's value to be had in there, or perhaps when new leagues come out. But overall, very positive thing for Sorare, and it's great to see a full top 5 league on board. And as always, thanks for watching. 1 like equals 1 hat-trick for your striker this weekend in SO5, so make sure you do that. And comment down below on your thoughts and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. Cheers for watching.